Welcome back to Dubbzi Bricks for another Gotham City update. In the last update, worked on a couple of different things, such as the road section just here. We've got the wall at the 45-degree angle. Also worked on the Gotham Harbour sign, tried to improve the font on that, but also worked on the raised platform section, particularly that corner section just there. Now this week I have found out a load more of the 45-degree slopes there, so I will be able to get a little bit more of that section done there if I have time to do so. But I am also placing the Lego order in the next day or two because we're on double VIP points, so fingers crossed I will be able to get that all in pretty quickly because I believe they're all on the best sellers list. The last Lego order we had that came in included these pieces, the roller coaster. Just hope that the colour's going to be okay. Was very limited with the colours available for the pieces that I wanted. Now these pieces here, I've got exactly the same pieces as you get in this Lego set on screen now, and I will be using that roller coaster setup for my roller coaster, which is going to be in and out of the Joker Funhouse. Now with the Funhouse, the design I'm going to be basing off of is this shot you'll see on screen now, and this is from one of the Arkham games, and I think the outside of this just looks fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to doing my version of this out of Lego. It's not going to be a spitting image of it, but it is going to be loosely based off of that. Anyway, without further ado, let's start working out how the roller coaster goes together. And here we have the roller coaster track all set up, and I have to say I'm loving the colour of it. Initially I was thinking it's too bright, but now I see it set up, I do think it works. I think it's going to be really good once I've got the building all set up around it. And this is a colour that they do use in some of the Batman Joker sets, so yeah, happy to have the track this colour. Now the plan is to have this roller coaster part indoors, part outside. So what I'm considering doing is having the building come to round about here and have archways where the track is. So you'll start off, you'll be inside, and it's going to pop out through an archway and then down, back inside, back out, and then finally back in. This will be the section where people get off and on of the roller coaster. So I think it's going to work out quite well. So now I've got an idea of the track. I've also got an idea of the external vision I want on one side. This side here I just need to work on. It'd be quite cool to have a Joker face down the bottom there, so you're actually going into the Joker at the very end of it. But with the support structures, I want to try and have as many of these so that they're built into the actual building themselves, so that I don't have a lot of them outside. I've just used these bricks here for the time being just so I can set the track up. But things like these ones here, I could actually have arches that come out from the wall to help take the weight of it. And the same on that one there. So I'm just going to have a little bit of an experiment, see how it comes along. There will be a couple I'm sure I'm going to need outside, like on this one here is definitely going to need one and there. But again, we'll see what we can come up with design-wise to try and make it look the best we can. Now with this building as well, I want to make it so it's freestanding. I don't want it so I have to build it onto the actual waterfront here. So if I do need to make any modifications or want to change anything, I can just take over to my desk and do it easily enough. So that's going to be quite a challenge as well, due to the fact we've got the supports there. I need to make it strong enough that all of the track will go with it basically. Now with this section here, I would like to eventually put a motor in with a chain so that this is run off of a motor, so that the roller coaster carriages are constantly going around on there. I did find a motor the other day, no idea where I got it, what set it came in, or how you control it, but yeah, I found one out. I do need the chains like you would get on a Technic bike to go on there. So I have seen somebody do it to a different roller coaster and it looks relatively straightforward, so fingers crossed we will be able to do that further down the line. So next thing we need to do is work out the exact studs that we're going to need, how big it's going to be for the actual building, make a base plate out for it, and then we can start assembling the roller coaster on there. decisions need to be made in regards to the Joker Funhouse. This wall here, I've just knocked it up to give me an idea of the size. Does it look right having the roller coaster going in and out? And I do like the look of it, and I think once I'd had this all decorated up and how I want it to look, it could look really, really good. The problem I've got though is the size that this building is going to be. This was going to be the footprint for the actual building, the funhouse itself. However, it's way too big. If I show you this warehouse here, which is currently in the docks, it's a fraction of the size. And this footprint here is actually larger than the Wayne Tower. It's also larger than Arkham Asylum currently is. So it's very, very big. And I don't want this to look out of proportion for the rest of the city. It needs to look right. So I've got to try and work out ways that I can scale this down in size. Do I have it so that the part of the roller coaster which comes down here is entirely outside? So it's just the slope that comes up, and then you peer out of the top of the building, and then you come back down, and then you go back in, say, on that part just there. So I just need to have a little bit of a think about it. If I do go further back and it just comes out part way up the slope there, then the building height can shrink just a little bit as well, which would be quite good. So yeah, decisions that need to be made in regards to this build. Now, one other thing I want to do in this update is work on the Joker's head that's going to be going around the last arch. So when you finish the roller coaster ride and go back into the funhouse, you go through his mouth. So that is something I do want to work on. I know I'm going to need to order in pieces for that. So again, it's just going to be a case of mocking it up in whatever colour bricks and pieces I have, and then I can work that out. But yeah, let's have a good think about how big we're going to make this, move the wall back and see how that looks. The base of this, that's going to stay the size it is, because that will be going on top of the docks area that I've got ready for this part. So it doesn't matter how much of this comes over, I just modify that accordingly. But yeah, lots of decisions need to be made on where we go forward with this build. And I think we're finally making some progress with this roller coaster and the Joker Funhouse. And I've taken a chunk out of this part of the building, so it's almost like an L shape. I think I'm going to stop the building about here, and there'll be just a thin passage down the end there where I could potentially put another building. It won't be very big, but we'll fit something in there. Now, I've also shrunk the arches. They're 2 studs narrower now. And the idea is you're going to be coming up. This is all inside. You're going to finally pop out. So outside, back in, back out, and then finally back in. And that's where we're going to have a Joker face. So I think that's going to work out quite well. I've put the cart on here just with a random minifigure in. Obviously, there's no details on this just yet, but it does work out really well with that. What I will be doing is extending this Mills plate just so it comes out probably to about there, as this will be underneath this section here. It is a built up area anyway, so there's no necessity for me to have this connected to something else. It's just going to make moving this all a lot simpler. And here we have the start of our Joker phase, where the roller coaster is going to go through the mouth of the Joker. Need to get some green bricks out, or purchase some green bricks, sorry, so I can do the hair on the Joker. But it's a good start having the face section all made up, and it's going to be going just here, and I'm going to need to extend this wall by 2 studs, so the whole roller coaster is going to have to go over by 2 bricks so I can fit on there. Otherwise the cheek will be hanging out of the side of the build, and I don't particularly want it to do that. It'd be nice if it's all up against that one wall there. Now, part of the face will be obscured, the track's going to obscure part of the face, but I'm not that worried about that. I think it'll look fine all the same. Now, with this face, it is a mixture of techniques here. Like these bricks here are upside down, so I'm going to need to work out a way of attaching those to the brickwork down the bottom there. The top's not so bad. They're bricks pointing in the right direction, so I can easily build those into the wall. So yeah, fun and games ahead, integrating all of this onto the build. And there we have the face attached to the wall. And I've had to use an illegal building technique at the bottom here. This section is inverted. So what I've done, I've put a 3 long plate going through the wall. On the stud, there's a tile. Then on the brick wall, where it's going through, there's also tiles. So the 3 of them together equate to a brick. So I put a brick either side, one going across the top, and then that's stopping it moving up and down. Then on the other end of the 3x plate, I've put a brick, and then that's stopping it moving forward. So although it's illegal, very effective. On the top, this section here is actually pointing in the right direction, so that's built into the wall, and there are some snot bricks holding the top of the face in place. And with the roller coaster cart, that goes down nicely and fits through the mouth, no problem at all, and no heads are being caught on the teeth there. Now I will be putting a tongue on this section just here, but I do need to order the parts in for that. And with the supports for the actual roller coaster track, I am going to use some dark brown cylinders, I think, so it's more of a wooden effect. And parts like this here, I will have a beam going across, so there'll be 2 pillars going up just there, be another 2 going up here to support those 2 bits, and then over there the same. And those ones over the far side, they will be going in the water. Originally, I was going to try and do it so they were built into the building. However, I think the support structure will give it more of an old feel. So I think that's going to look quite good. Now, this is the side of the build which is going to be based on the source material that I showed you earlier. So again, I just need to find out as many pieces as possible to get this looking as good as possible. And I've got to start working out how I'm going to build the statues that go outside as well. But yeah, already this building is proving to be great fun. Hope you've enjoyed the update. If you have, please remember to give us a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content on the channel. And if you know anybody else you think would be interested in building Gotham in Lego, if you could share the channel with them, it'd be much appreciated. Anyway, thanks for walking on by, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.